We're all pretty familiar with just do it, right? Anytime we see or hear that, our brain automatically thinks, oh yeah, that's Nike. That's Nike's tagline. A tagline is it's like a catchphrase, right? It's a short sentence that kind of encompasses the essence of your brand. So like something that you stand for, something that you do that makes you different from everybody else. Another brand with a really good one is Apple. One of their first campaigns was called Think Different, and they were promoting their products without even showing them. Instead, they were showing like famous, historical, iconic figures. So 3 signs of a good tagline. What are they, right? Well, the first sign is that they're simple and they're easy to remember. The second one is that they're flexible in meaning. What I mean by that is they can be very deep, philosophical, thought-provoking, they make you think about something, or they can be very straightforward, right? This is who we are, this is what we do. And then the last one, and possibly the most important, you want it to be specific to you or what you do. Now, when coming up with a tagline, right, like you want to put a lot of thought into it. I can't tell you how many times I've spoken with a brand or an academy and we're talking about taglines, and they always without fail, somebody's going to say something like, drum roll please, building, can you guess what it is? Champions. Yeah, that's right. We build champions. Oopsie. That's what we do here. We build champions. And you know what? Jiu-jitsu is for everybody. And you know what else? That shit is trash. Why? Because this can apply to anybody. Any brand can go and say, oh, we're building champions. Any academy can go and say, oh, we're building champions, right? It's not specific to anything you're doing different. And anybody can just take it and use it as their own, right? It's very surface level and it's very generic. 2 signs of a bad tagline. So, how do you come up with a good tagline? Well, I'm glad you asked, because I'm going to walk you through the process right now. And I'm going to use one of the clients that I recently worked with as an example, and I hope that they don't mind because I want to show you the entire process. So we have a jiu-jitsu club, right? They're a jiu-jitsu club, not just an academy. And they do 2 things that make them different from other places. So the first thing is they host jiu-jitsu retreats and camps. The second thing they do is that they have a non-profit program. With the retreats and the camps, people travel here, right? Because it's in a sick getaway destination, like beautiful. And they have visitors, but they also have guest instructors hosting. Guest instructors. Right. And this isn't just like a jiu-jitsu thing. It's like a whole cultural experience where they're not just training together, but they're also doing cool things like surfing, horseback riding. They're sharing meals together. They're bonding, right? So it's this whole cultural experience. I gotta write the whole word cultural out. Otherwise it looks like cult. And at the end, people leave with like this sense of renewal. They feel refreshed, right? They feel grounded. That's their experience. On the other side, the nonprofit, they're helping local kids in the communities with resources and access to jiu-jitsu. So they're helping them out with like transportation, training gear, classes, even helping them compete, right? And the cool thing about this is like this gives them a sense of purpose because these kids come from like rough neighborhoods. They have very hard upbringings. So this provides them with like something positive. It's like a positive outlet for them, right? So now we gotta tie these 2 together. But for the Jiu-Jitsu Club, these 2 are their 2 points of impact. These are the 2 ways that they're having a positive impact on 2 different groups of people. So the cool thing about this whole program is that the retreats and the camps fund the nonprofit. And when people hear about the nonprofit, it inspires them and motivates them to visit, because not only are they having this cool, amazing cultural experience, but it's also going to a good cause. So now there's like this symbiotic relationship between the two, and there's this flow of energy going on where there's energy coming in from the retreats, there's energy coming in and money, and then there's energy coming out because the Jiu-Jitsu Club is pouring those resources into the nonprofit. So now you have this cycle of in and out, in and out. That creates a rhythm, right? Because it's a cycle, it's a rhythm. This could also be seen as what? In and out, boom, 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 boom. Bear with me now. A pulse. Now that's a word that you don't hear or see too often from a brand or an academy. At the beginning of this whole project, the client said, I want this to feel like it has a soul. I want it to feel like it's alive. Well, what's one of the signs of something being alive? Has a pulse. So this is Jiu-Jitsu with a pulse. Easy, can mean a lot of things, and it's specific to the brand. So now if somebody says Jiu-Jitsu with a pulse, what is that? Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. Because we have these camps, right? And these camps fund a nonprofit, and the nonprofit gets people excited and makes them want to visit. So these two things are working together. This is how we're having a positive impact on two different types of people. So now you got me talking about the brand. Now you're learning about what we're doing, right? We're not building champions. We're not on some, Jiu-Jitsu's for everybody. Like, that's dumb, generic, boring, whatever. No, like, this shit means something. You want your taglines to mean something real, right? And you're not going to come up with a tagline if you don't do all the work. You're not going to come up with a good tagline if you don't define who you are, what you're doing, why you're doing it, and more importantly, who you're doing it for. If you don't know all of these things, you're never going to come up with something unique and specific to you. So this is how you come up with a tagline. I mean, I'm speechless. I don't know about you guys, but damn. All right? No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so that's how you come up with a tagline. Put a lot of thought into it. Make sure it's easy to understand. Make sure that it's flexible. It can mean a lot of things. And make sure that it's specific to you. Peace.